Hey, 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 happy days, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Day 842 of What's She Up To Now. She being Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. What am I up to? What the heck am I doing as I transition from the brick and mortar world of business to the online world of business? Three years ago, I had the opportunity to divest myself of everything I was doing in the past. Got divorced, which, wasn't pleasant, wasn't fun, but it was long overdue. And as part of that, had to separate all the businesses and all the assets and all the things I was doing with my ex-husband. And as part of that, it meant letting go of things that I'd done for a long time. I probably should have let go of a long time sooner, but we get stubborn and we get stuck on these tracks in our life that we think we need to be following, and we do things that we think we need to do, even though we've known for a long time that we needed a change. So I'm calling today Exercise Revisited. And I'm not talking physical exercise, although every once in a while I need to revisit that and revamp and rechange and mix that up a little bit. And that's something I just was thinking about this past weekend and started doing, was mixing up my repertoire a little bit, mainly because it rained all day Sunday, so I didn't want to go out in the yucky, muddy weather and the slippery, trippery stuff, given that I might slip and fall down. Not that I would, but you never know, right? And I'm not going to take a chance. I already have a tweaked knee. I tweaked it and twisted it somehow, so I didn't want to go outside and exercise, so I had to figure out, okay, how do I exercise indoors with no equipment? So break out the soup cans or do whatever, but get creative and find ways to keep moving and at least stretch and do something. So Exercise Revisited, actual physical exercise revisited. Yep, doing some of that too, but that's not what I'm thinking about and what I'm working on right now. Get Up and Go Challenge. I still have to get some guests in. One of my guests, the interview for today, has a COVID-19 scare, so we'll see how he is feeling today, but I suspect he might not be available for our interview at 11, which if not, we'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. I'll always figure something out, because guess what? There's always a solution. There's a solution to absolutely every problem, every situation, everything that happens. And usually there's a whole lot more than one solution, right? There's way more than one solution to anything. It's when we get into that fixed mindset where we think it's either black or white, it's either A or B, it's either X or Y. It's I do this or I do that. And we force ourselves into believing that there's only two options, that we get into trouble. It's either yes or no. Well, no, it's not usually yes or no. It's yes, no, maybe, and 1,000 degrees in between of different options and possibilities. So the exercise I'm talking about today is, I actually popped into a challenge, and I don't even know the name of the challenge, which is really sad because I was just listening to the replay, because it happens to be the exact same time as my Get Up and Go challenge. So when something's the same time as yours, you do yours, and then you catch the replay of someone else's. Well, it's a really interesting one. It's something about $100,000 months, right? And I wasn't attracted to it because of that, but I, for some reason, was attracted to it, signed up for it, and listened to the first one yesterday. And it is business on a whole different level, a much more holistic and spiritual level, not religious spiritual consciousness. Consciousness is a better word for it, conscious level. And so I found it fascinating. And it talked about, I always talk about 7 main areas of our life, and they use 9, and I found that in and of itself fascinating. They take it to 2 more levels, which is really, really powerful, right? And it cut through a lot of the stuff that I've been personally struggling with that doesn't feel right or in alignment to me. Got to do these launches, got to do these this way. You have to create urgency and scarcity and all this nonsense to trick people into doing business with you. And I don't do any of that because I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. I wouldn't want to be treated that way, so I don't want to treat people that I interact with that way. So I think it's really fascinating from that standpoint. Well, it got me to thinking. It says, okay, we need to be more conscious in all these areas of our life. So I started thinking about, well, how conscious am I really in certain areas and aspects of my life? I like to think I am. I'm pretty spiritually developed. I've been spending, decades on personal development and continuous improvement and those things. But I started then to decide, okay, well, let me just start looking at this. Let's just start with physical. So I grabbed a new notebook, like I like to grab new notebooks, and I started brainstorming just this morning physical beliefs from the past, physical beliefs from the current that I might not realize that I have, but anything to do with my body, my physical health, my physical body and well-being, right? My body. And I'm already up to 1, 2, 3. I'm on my 4th page of brainstorm what thoughts and things I think about my physical body. So what am I going to do with that? I'm going to brainstorm what they all are. And then in the other column, because it's a 2-column sheet, I'm going to brainstorm what the heck is the opposite of that, or what the heck is the belief that I consciously want, that I want to have. And I'm going to do that with all of the 9 areas that they share. They, of course, have all the 7 that I do, but they added creative, which is to do with pleasure, desire, sexual, and they added ethereal, which has to do with your ethereal body, you know, your kind of your spirit and soul to a whole new level. But your being, I guess I would call ethereal your beingness. And they say, you know, spend time in silence. How often do you just stop, tune out everything, and just be present? I guess I would say that's like being present, being in the moment, just you, and it doesn't matter what's going on around you. So again, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, ethereal, creative, financial, relational, which is relationships, and then global, which I call connection. To me, global is connection. So I say physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and connection. Those are my 7, but they definitely added, for me, the creative and the ethereal. So I'm gonna do this exercise for all of these 9 areas to get more conscious, to pay, you know, to bring up from my subconscious, hey, what do I really think? What have I really been thinking and feeling and believing about these things? Because I got to tell you, on these 4 pages so far, a lot of these aren't beliefs I hold anymore, but I know darn well that a lot of people that I interact with do still hold these beliefs, or people I'm trying to serve have 1 or more of these beliefs. And I might do it with a couple of different emotions. Like maybe I'll do it with the emotion of love. Maybe I'll do it with, as part of my emotional, those will all come up. They'll all bubble up. So interesting. And again, there's overlap amongst the areas. If I say I can't lose weight or something like that, let's just take that one. I can't lose weight. Or I have body image things that I say and I'm judging. Is that spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical? Well, really, it touches on all of them, right? So I just wanted to share that I am doing this exercise. Have I done this before? Yes. Have I done it to this degree? Absolutely not. You know, I've done in the past, you know, Tony Robbins and so many, gosh, I've had so many teachers and people that I model and that have been mentors to me over the decades. Because, you know, I'm 60. I just turned 60 in March. So I've spent at least, you know, once I was in college even, I started on the personal development track, and I guess college is personal development, right? So I didn't get out of school and graduate from college and stop learning. That was, you know, just the beginning of my learning, and from a personal development and personal growth standpoint, and you know, spiritual enlightenment or ascension, whatever you want to call it. And I've done this exercise. Well, what are your beliefs? What are your limiting beliefs? Mostly in the last 3 years about online business and coaching and helping people do certain things. That's been the extent of the belief. Well, what do you believe about yourself and your confidence when it comes to selling or whatever, you know? And so now I will probably fill this entire notebook, and then I'll probably have to write a book about it the more that I think about it, because it does apply to so many of us. And I've done this dozens and dozens of times before. I've done this exercise, but never to this degree and never to this level of consciousness. And so I'm excited about it. I couldn't sleep this morning. I woke up and started writing because I'm like, I know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to spew out everything that's ever popped into my brain about any of this, and then I'm going to is it tedious and redundant and repetitive to respond to every single one? Yes, but I want to make sure that it's gone and I'm replacing it with something better in my conscious, and so it goes down into my subconscious. So that's my whole exercise comment. What are you doing with exercise, and what does that have to do with anything? So Get Up and Go challenge, same time as this one, but I'm doing this one as well. What else is going on? Today was full of beans for Supersize Your Business, the idiom I shared today. I love this one. It's really a fun one. I used to think it mostly had to do with farting, but actually it has a lot to do with energy and positivity and liveliness and good-natured, happy, energeticness. And so, you know, like Mexican jumping beans. I didn't even remember about Mexican jumping beans when I first saw Full of Beans until I was thinking about it this morning. So that tells us we can choose how we're going to respond to everything, right? We can choose to have it mean farts, or we can choose to have it mean, hey, Mexican jumping beans, lively, fun activity. We can choose how we're going to respond to what's going on in our life with the coronavirus. We can focus on what's not working, or we can focus on what we can do. We can focus on our lack of resources, or we can get resourceful and we can figure out how are we going to solve this problem? What are we going to do about this situation? Because everything is absolutely figure outable. Thank you, Marie Forleo. Not that I hadn't used that before. Mine is there's no such thing as can't, which isn't as positive a focus as everything is figure outable. So I love there's no such thing as can't, but that kind of feels negative to me. So I actually like, hey, everything's figure outable. So thank you, Marie Forleo, for that. What else is going on? 4-year-old granddaughter. It's her 5-year-old birthday tomorrow. I'm going to have to say I have a 5-year-old granddaughter tomorrow. She's turning 5, and I'm super excited about that. My mom got her a dollhouse, which, okay, secretly she and I picked it out online, not too secretly. So she's seen it online in a little picture, but she hasn't really seen it. And my son and my brother-in-law, you know, her dad and his uncle put it together over the weekend. And then they took it to my other sister's house to hide it because my one sister's going out of town, and it's huge. It's in my other sister's front entry hall, and she's like, I'm not giving it back, because she only had a little boy and a son who's now 20. But she's like, I've never had anything this girly in my house before. So she wants to keep it, which she won't, of course, although it'd be kind of nice to have her keep it over there, just because I don't know where we're going to put it. But I'll have to check with her mama. We're going to have a little get-together, little get-together for her on Saturday. And I'll probably go to that, even though I've been staying away from people. I did get my nails done, and so I think I can go to my granddaughter's 5th little gathering birthday party. And we'll all go outside and stay away from each other, unless it's raining, of course. And then we'll go inside and stay away from each other. We'll probably all have masks on. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But it'll still be fun, because we need to celebrate, right? We need to celebrate what is good and what is working in life, no matter what's going on in our life, right? That's it. That's all I've got today. I want to go work. I actually want to go work on the conscious beliefs thing. I really want to work on it. I want to go deep on it. It's time to go deeper with certain things for myself, to move myself to the next level. And so I can contribute to the world in a much bigger, better way than I have been. Instead of, playing small and talking for 842 days about this problem or that problem, or how we did this or that, or what we're working on. Let's talk about taking it up a notch. Let's take the whole world up a notch. Because guess what? The world's got a whole lot of healing it needs to do right now. And will we do it? Absolutely, positively. But it's going to take a new level of thinking. I had that actual aha this morning. I'm like, okay, I was listening to Secret here. I listened to, and my son taught me this, and I so appreciate it, that on our phones, we can record a message in our own voice. So part of how I do affirmations is I recorded them in my voice, and I listen to them in the morning. And I will admit, I just started listening to them a few days ago, every day in the morning. I've had them on my phone for at least a year ago. I made the recording, and I thought, I'm going to do this. I'll listen to it every day. And of course, was moving, got busy, life got in the way. Of course, my phone's always with me, but didn't necessarily want my ex-husband to hear my affirmations, right? None of his business. So I got out of the habit of doing it. Now I'm into the habit again of I will listen to them every day, and I'll listen to them every day for a month and see how that makes me feel. And one thing I already noticed, since they're from a year ago, is that same way of thinking and being is the way I was thinking, but I'm not sure, and I'm doing a mental check as I'm listening. Will this belief and this thought and this affirmation get me to the next level that I want to go to? So I'll have to reevaluate that, and maybe I have to make a new recording, right? But it's going to be after I do this whole 9-level conscious belief exercise. So have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Just ask. I always say I might not have the exact answer you need or want right now, but I guarantee I have a connection, or I know someone, since I am old and I have met lots of people, and I have lots of amazing people in my life and resources available to me. I will be able to help you at least get moving in the right direction. Have a great day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Take care.